It's Thursday, and here's what's happening. A wanted man was arrested this week with what deputies call an illegal weapon. The details next. Plus, the new way people will soon be getting around in Jamestown.
And a live look at First Defense Doppler shows you those limited lake flakes continuing through the afternoon, but a clean bill of health is on the way for the weekend. We'll talk about it next and more as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Our top story, a man wanted by authorities out of Warren County, Pennsylvania, was arrested yesterday after Chautauqua County Sheriff's deputies say they found him with an illegal weapon. Deputies say that 30-year-old John Hauser was taken into custody during a warrant check in the town of Westfield. Now, through investigation, Hauser was allegedly in possession of an illegal weapon, although deputies did not specify what that weapon was. Hauser was arrested and charged with third-degree criminal possession of a weapon. He was taken to the Chautauqua County Jail to await arraignment in the case. Deputies say further charges may be pending following a subsequent investigation by federal law enforcement. And the Chautauqua County's transit system was awarded a grant this week to buy trolley buses to help modernize and enhance its fleet. Our Craig McFadden has been following developments from the newsroom, and it seems to be a good chunk of money, Craig.
Definitely is, Justin. Officials with the Chautauqua Area Regional Transit System, also known as CARTS, announced Wednesday they will receive $1.5 million from a New York State Department of Transportation grant. This is a rendering of what one bus may look like. This morning we spoke to Brad Bentley, Chautauqua County's Director of Public Facilities, who says the money will be used to buy clean fuel hybrid trolley buses and associated equipment. Bentley says the buses aim to help promote the area's growing tourist industry with a uniquely styled vehicle and at the same time utilize clean energy technology. He also talked about the potential uses for the trolley and what a win it was for Chautauqua County.
A really big win for Chautauqua County. I think there's a lot of ideas to come about from this, and we're in the stages of planning. We could ride the trolley to work, or the same, they go out to dinner later that night.
In all, Bentley says the county will likely buy around 5 trolley buses. Justin, in total, only 13 counties, cities, and regional authorities received a portion of the $14 million to modernize and enhance municipally sponsored public transportation services. In the newsroom, I'm Craig McFadden, WNY News Now.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Now, in 2019, officials began work to modernize the transit system after then Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello took feedback from riders on city bus routes. Well, New York State police say luckily no one was injured during a crash between an Amish buggy and a vehicle yesterday. Take a look. Troopers say they responded to Rock Hill Road in Panama for a report of a property damage accident. Now, through investigation, they found that a passenger vehicle was driving southwest on the roadway when the driver, distracted by the sun, struck a Amish buggy from behind, causing extensive damage. Occupants of both the vehicle and buggy, including the horse, were uninjured. The driver of that passenger vehicle was cited for failure to reduce speed for special hazard. Well, with their first season as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks starting in 3 months, the city's baseball team revealed their colors this week. WNY News Now's Norm Rodriguez is here with more on these interesting combinations. Hey, Norm.
Hi, Justin. The team says uniforms will consist of a total of 5 colors: skunkback black, stay away gray, golden boots gold, tarp blue, and stink green. According to Jamestown Tarp Skunks, skunkback black represents the skunk itself. Stay away gray represents not trying to get too close to a skunk. Golden boots gold for the rubber boots. Tarp blue for the home of the skunks. And stink green, which symbolizes the skunk spray. Jamestown's color palette revelation is the second team update this week after the team unveiled the Russell E. Dietrich Jr. logo at the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame 2020 ceremony on Monday. The Tarp Skunks will begin their 2020 regular season on May 29th for the first of a 2-game series versus the Capital City Reds at home. Capital City will be one of the 4 divisional opponents the Tarp Skunks will have, with the other 3 being the Geneva Red Wings, Saugerties Stallions, and the Adirondack Trailblazers. Justin, back to you.
All right, Norm, thank you very much. Certainly very interesting color palette, nevertheless, and I'd imagine probably a big point of try to scare the other team away. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful day out there. We thank you for joining us here on WNY News Now. Gotta say hello to Joe. Hopefully you're doing well. Hello to Lori as well. Thanks to Pam for watching. Hello to Kendra, Scott, Sean, Wanda. David chimes in. He says, good afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great day. Same to you. Hello to Christine and Cindy. And Joe, he's chiming in about the skunk story. What a name. And certainly it is a name attracting a lot of people's attention on social media. Got to give it to him. Whether you like it or you hate it, it certainly is a very interesting marketing tactic, nevertheless. Well, let's switch gears and check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hutter. Hello, Dakota. How are you doing out there today?
I'm doing fine, Jay. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing fine. And yeah, Tarp Skunks is a very interesting name. It's very unique. So, we'll see what happens as the baseball season starts earlier, or should I say later this year. Here's a live look coming from Salamanca from casino traffic flow in OK of 86. Hey, birds. This is my camera. What do you think you're doing? Anyway, you can see the mountain ranges back there. 23 right now in Salamanca. It is cooler out there today because we have that north to northwest wind component basically still dominating our weather pattern. Here's radar again. You can see these little light lake effect potato flakes. That's basically it today. Any accumulation less than a ½ inch. And if anybody gets a ½ inch, it's going to be on the hills. But most everybody less than that. And this is actually going to start to wind down as we go through the afternoon. Look at this band of lake effect snow coming off Lake Ontario, and this is mainly, this is going to go out here towards Rochester, but so far that's not making its way down here, and I don't think it will either. 25 was the peak wind gust in Dunkirk yesterday, 26 at the Jamestown airport, so it was breezy, but the winds have calmed down for today. That's the good news because it's definitely cooler today. 29 was the high yesterday, but that was early in the day. Temperatures actually slid backwards. 16 was the low this morning. This record high of 58 that was set back in 1994 is deceptive. In the full weather segment, I'll tell you why that is. And the record low for today is 15 below zero, set back in 1978. So hour by hour here, just a small chance of a snow shower through the day. It's those little light potato flakes that we have falling right now. That'll continue through the afternoon, but temperatures will struggle to make it to 20 degrees with that northwest wind. But huzzah, some big changes over the weekend into early next week. We'll talk about it in just a few. Justin?
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you very much. Coming up, a lot more to tell you about how New York's senior senator is trying to help those Vietnam veterans who may be suffering. And later, why one Jamestown elementary school is raising awareness for mental health and the act of kindness. More news after this.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you. Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
The mother of a special education student at Maple Grove High School is speaking out.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
And Lake Erie is covered in less than 1% of ice as this winter season has entered its peak.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Every cookie sold in the Girl Scout Cookie Program helps girls learn lifelong lessons in people skills, decision making, money management, goal setting, and business ethics. It's amazing how much you can learn from a cookie. The Girl Scout Cookie Program. Think outside the box.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
And welcome back. U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer is calling on U.S. Veteran Affairs officials to add new medical conditions caused by side effects from Agent Orange to the VA's presumptive condition lists. Schumer, standing at Memorial Park in Dunkirk this morning, demanded a detailed explanation as to why agencies continue to block billions in health care coverage and benefits from thousands of Vietnam veterans.
And when many of these men came home, they were not treated as the heroes that they are. Some of them were vilified. And that was I argued with people then. I would yell at people. I said, I don't care what you think of the Vietnam War. You treat these men as heroes. They've risked their lives for us. And that was one of the most disgraceful chapters in American history, particularly American relationship to veterans.
The senator says a 2016 report found suggestive evidence that bladder cancer were associated with veterans service, as well as clarified that veterans with Parkinson-like symptoms should be considered eligible under the presumption that Parkinson's disease and other diseases similar were connected to their service. Health officials say that diagnosis of hypertension among Vietnam War-era veterans have also been linked to exposure to Agent Orange, even though Schumer says he secured a provision in the recently passed budget deal requiring the Office of Budget Management and the VA to issue a detailed report to Congress on the delay in adding these conditions to their list. The report was woefully insufficient, according to Schumer, and both agencies have failed to properly explain why they are denying the veterans health care. A new bill proposed in Albany aims to expose sexual harassment claims in governments around the state. Now, supporters of the legislation say that the Sunshine Bill would require county legislatures and village or town boards to be notified of an allegation made within one business day. They say, in addition to protecting victims, officials must protect taxpayers from these type of behaviors that could lead to litigation against a municipality. Furthermore, the bill would allow for personnel situations to be addressed in private, that in order to protect the victim. The bill also has a sponsor in the state assembly. Well, countries around the world are not doing enough to protect children's health and development. That according to a new study, and research ranked the United States lower than we may expect. Mandy Gaithner explains more.
The U.S. ranks lower than 38 other countries when it comes to children's survival, health, education, and nutrition, a new report suggests. The research published in The Lancet ranked 180 countries based on data that used various factors to measure the extent of which a child was given the opportunity to fulfill their potential. This included child survival rates, years of school, teen birth rates, maternal mortality, prevalence of violence, growth, and nutrition. The U.S. came in at number 39, with Norway ranked first overall, and the Central African Republic coming in last. To improve outcomes among children, some of the recommendations by researchers are for countries to stop excessive carbon emissions, tighten regulations around commercial marketing of junk food, alcohol, and other harmful products, introduce new policies to protect children's health, nutrition, and rights, and incorporate children's voices into policy decisions. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
All right, Mandy, thank you very much. The study also ranked countries based on excess carbon emissions, which researchers say will prevent younger generations from having a healthy and sustainable future. Now, when it comes to sustainability goals and the excess of carbon emissions, the U.S. ranked near the bottom at number 173. Well, if you thought Bud Light Seltzer couldn't compete with all those other flavors out there like White Claw and some of the other best-selling spiked drinks, boy, we all thought wrong. The seltzer just launched last month, and it's already the third most popular hard seltzer in the nation. It's made from cane sugar and natural fruit flavors. One can has 100 calories and just 2 grams of carbs. A 12-pack costs about $14. According to sales data from Nielsen released this week, White Claw is still the top-selling hard seltzer, followed by Truly. And if you were wondering how Natty Light Seltzer is doing, apparently it's great. Natural Light's hard seltzer that launched at the end of last year sits in 4th in the ranking. And Dakota, I remember we talked about this on the Super Bowl weekend because it was such a big thing for people. They were really pushing it. It was out on the shelves. I remember when you first walked into some stores, they had it on display. Grab it with your Super Bowl munchies.
And then plus, how can you not? I mean, with Posty, advertising it, how can you not?
No. I agree, and that was a pretty cool commercial.
It was hilarious.
He destroyed that store.
It was hilarious.
So, and we remind you, if you do decide to consume an adult beverage, please do it carefully. Please do it carefully. To consume an adult beverage. That's what I said.
Okay.
And it's pretty good. I like it. Have you had any yet?
I have not.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I mean, the thing with me is it's like, I don't like Budweiser because Budweiser gives me a headache. I don't know why. There's something in the formula of the recipe of the beer that gives me a headache. But I don't know if it's got beer in it or what. I really don't know.
I just alcohol. Like it's like a liquor type thing.
Okay.
Like a hard, that's what people are confused because at first people thought there was no alcohol. And it's like, no, that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Mike's Hard Lemonade type of combination.
All right.
Only it's like bubbly and has the seltzer and is, I don't know, it's that type of thing. And there was a rumor out there. This was it's a fight. My family fights about some of the craziest things. We were arguing because we thought that, I didn't think. I was on team, it's got the same amount of alcohol as beer in it, which we've done the research and it does.
Yeah.
But there was certain family members who were like, this is not as much as beer, it's great. And it's like, no, it does. It's the same amount, and they try to do that, I think, to just keep everything on the standard. So when you are consuming alcohol, you have an idea of how intoxicated you are, because that's a big thing, for sure. Is you don't want to go out, drink, and then get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's even one drink. It's like, no. I got to have a designated driver, because you don't, it's so dangerous, which is certainly something that I hope everybody keeps in mind. Hello to Joseph. Hopefully you're doing well. He agrees. Don't drink and drive. I hear you, brother. Hello to Susan. Hello to Mike. David, thanks so much for being here. Hopefully you're all having a wonderful day. Let's switch gears and get a check of our First Defense forecast because it's winter out there right now.
Yeah.
There was snow this morning. I saw it.
It was.
I saw it falling.
Yeah. And it's going to be feeling like winter for today, but not for too much longer. Like Post Malone, are you better now, Jay? Better now, better now. Anyway, let's take a look at the ski and snowboarding forecast. All the bases are looking good with good surfaces and obviously no measurable snow, essentially, over the past 24 hours at any of the ski resorts. This is the place to be today. Now, as I mentioned during the first weather segment, the record high for today is very deceptive, and here's the reason why. Now, 2 years ago in 2018, we had a very big warm-up. Most everybody in Western New York warmed up into the 60s. It was a very warm day 2 years ago, but we officially did not break the record high, and the reason for that is because the days leading up to this, something happened to the sensors at the Jamestown airport, which is where all of the official weather observations are held and are taken, and so we lost data a few days prior to this, and we didn't get it back in time. So we estimate the range for Jamestown was 60 to 65, looking at satellite data and obviously all of the other observations around the area. That range in itself would have broken this 58-degree high, but the key message is records do not change if we have lost the official data source. So unfortunately, this 58-degree high is still in the record books for today, but if you want to be technical, we did break the record 2 years ago. It's just not officially in the record books. There's an explanation for you. Beautiful sunshine downtown on the HD News Now cam. Few clouds dotting the sky. We're only at 19 at noon hour with that west wind of 13, but look at what it does with the wind chill. knocks it down to 6. So the winds are not as strong as they have been, but it still will be a little bit, it still will be a little bit breezy through the early afternoon. The radar, want to show you this again. Again, this is what we're going to be dealing with through the afternoon. Just these little pockets of, limited light lake effect. I call them potato flakes. It's these light flakes falling across the area, and that's really going to do it. So additional accumulations, less than a ½ inch. And again, I want to stress the word localized. Not everybody is going to get a ½ inch of snow. I don't think this is really going to accumulate in probably 80% of the area. But if you do get a spot where it does accumulate, a ½ inch, maybe not even that. And today's the last day of it because high pressure starts to build back in and we start to clear out the cloud cover and warm the temperatures up. Tomorrow morning, we're going to start cold here. These are the forecast temperatures coming off the in-house computer model by the time we start tomorrow morning. Likely, the lower teens, some spots in the deepest valleys may actually dip into the upper single digits, but this particular model is kind of keeping everybody in the lower, essentially in the lower teens, especially right near the Lake Erie shoreline. You'll likely stay near 20. But again, it's going to be a cold morning tomorrow. So again, you may have to dress in layers as you head to work tomorrow morning. And speaking of the temperatures, the current 8 to 14 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center believes colder than average temperatures across much of the continental 48. This goes all the way to the end of the month into the first part of March. So winter is not over, we don't think. Again, I often tell you, March is often one of our wild card months, and it can be interesting. We'll see what happens. Inland areas here today, around 20. That'll do it. Some limited light lake effect flakes, but any accumulation will be little, if anything. Lake Erie shoreline here, you might squeeze out 26 in Erie, but again, a northwest wind continuing. That'll hold down our temperatures. Future coming up on the screen. 31 tomorrow. That's better. And at least with the aid of plentiful sunshine, here comes much warmer and suntastic weather over the weekend. Great days. Now, another storm system scooting by, especially early next week, will stay above average into the lower 40s, but again, we will see the chance for a few rain and snow showers possibly Monday through next Wednesday. Jay?
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. Norm's here now with a look at what's coming up in sports.
Yes, Justin. Up next, an NFL player was arrested on Wednesday and is facing federal charges. That and more when WNY News Now returns.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Thursday, sports fans. We are nearing the end of the work week. Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. Tonight at 7:30, the Salamanca Warriors varsity boys basketball team will be on the road for a non-conference game against the Ellicottville Eagles to close out the regular season. On a 4-game winning streak and at 13-6, Salamanca will look to end their regular season with 5 wins in a row. The Warriors won their last game 85-25 over the Gowanda Panthers exactly 1 week ago. Meanwhile, Ellicottville was 16-3 and on a 5-game winning streak, including a 61-48 victory over the North Collins Eagles last Thursday. Like Salamanca, Ellicottville will be closing out their regular season tonight. Greg Robinson, an offensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns, was arrested on Wednesday night after Border Patrol agents allegedly found 157 pounds of marijuana in his rental car near the Mexican border. The former second overall pick in the 2014 NFL Draft along with ex-NFL wide receiver Quan Bray, were arrested by the U.S. Border Patrol and charged with conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute. Prior to being arrested, it is also alleged that Robinson tried to bribe an Uber driver he called for to take the rap for the marijuana. If convicted of the charges, both Robinson and Bray face up to 20 years in federal prison. With the All-Star break now over, tonight at 8 o'clock, the Brooklyn Nets will be on the road to take on the Philadelphia 76ers on national TV. So far this season, Brooklyn is 25-28, good for 7th place in the Eastern Conference and holding one of the 8 playoff spots. On the opposing end, the Sixers are in 5th in the East with a record of 34-21. Like Brooklyn, Philly is currently holding a spot in the NBA playoffs. The game will be televised on TNT. That's it for sports today. Back to Justin and Dakota.
All right, Norm, thank you very much. Well, Jamestown's Ring Elementary School spent some time last week spreading love, kindness, and awareness of the importance of mental health. On Friday, school officials teamed up with the Community Alliance for Suicide, Family Services of the Chautauqua region, and Chautauqua Tapestry for its annual I Love You Day. Now, during the event, candies were handed out with notes attached to families dropping off their kids at the school, as well as information from the Community Alliance for Suicide Prevention. Now, students received stickers and purple bracelets and necklaces to commemorate the event. There was also an all-school assembly.
It started out 7 years ago here that we decided that we want to do something special at CC Ring. And so we tapped onto the PS I Love You Day idea. And so all this week we've been doing kindness, and we're fortunate to have family service as a partner with the school.
Now, additionally, a community social worker from Chautauqua Tapestry visited those 3rd and 4th grade classrooms to talk about bullying versus teasing and kindness. And Dakota, anyone struggling with mental health should call the crisis line here in Chautauqua County at 1-800-724-0461. I'll read the number again. It's 1-800-724-0461. And it's great to see that they're really connecting with these kids and sort of taking a really hard topic and spinning it and getting some positive vibes, bringing good energy to it, and really educating them. And I think, too, I would imagine for the parents as well, and for guardians and family members and things like that who are dropping them off to kind of spread it out just from the student, but the whole community.
Yeah. And, you know, I think mental health is one of those things where a lot of times it's hard to talk about because, you know, I think there's, you know, especially if you're kind of a guy, I think sometimes there's like a stigma around saying that, you know, guys can't show their feelings or their emotions.
Right.
When in fact, you know, we feel pain. I mean, we feel guilt. I mean, you know, we feel all that stuff. And, you know, I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's like, you know, I've struggled with mental health issues. I have for years. And it's like, you know, there are days where I'm very happy and I'm chipper. And then there are days where I'm just like, I don't know.
And a lot of people, you know, sometimes can feel that way.
Yeah.
And they just brush it off as, it's just the day.
It's just a bad day or
what
whatever.
But a lot of that time, you know, those types of things could build up. So certainly, you know, talk to your doctor and always make sure that you know that just like the message they were spreading at the school, you are loved. And I think that's really what it boils down to, is if we're just nice to our neighbor, regardless of what they think, what they look like, what color of their skin they are, it doesn't matter. Just be nice because they're another human being.
Absolutely.
And there are people out there who deserve not to get that, of course. But, you know, at the same time,
we won't pursue that any further. I don't think.
But be the bigger person.
Right,
you know,
right.
I think that's what it boils down to, for sure. So hopefully, Joe, you're having a good day. Good to see Michael. Good to see Sean. Thanks for being here. Hello to Scott, Kendra, and Lori as well. Thank you all so much for joining us. Let's switch gears and get a final check of our forecast for tonight.
Well, as you head out early this evening, there still could be a few flakes falling. I didn't put it in the graphic, but there will be the chance for a few light lake effect potato flakes early on. Then it turns partly to mostly cloudy. We're down to 10 in some of the valleys. Don't be surprised if some spots, especially in the deepest valleys, dip to the upper single digits to 20 near the Lake Erie shoreline. But we do rebound over the weekend with the aid of nice sunshine and high pressure. Get ready for the 40s once again.
We'll take it, Dakota. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
That's going to do it for us today. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.